I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks again for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Toads in the Garden. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. Recently, I was working in one of my garden beds when I got a bit of a surprise. I was planting some radish seeds and out of nowhere, a toad poked his head out of the soil. He seemed pretty comfortable where he was, didn't look like he wanted to move, so I decided to save that garden bed for later and move on to some other projects here on the homestead. But my interest was piqued and I did a little research. Turns out toads like to dig into the soil in order to keep themselves cool and also to protect themselves from predators. Now, it was about 85 degrees that day, so I have no doubt that he was trying to stay out of the summer heat, and frankly, I'm glad to have him. Toads are very welcome in gardens because they eat a lot of the pests that would normally attack my crops. But it got me thinking. Because the fact is, when I built my garden, and especially that specific garden bed, I thought about a lot of things. I thought about the soil that would go into the bed. I thought about the vegetables that I wanted to grow. I thought about all the insects and animals I wanted to keep out of the garden bed, but I had no idea that I was creating a home for a toad. And yet here I am with another neighbor that I'm happy to have. And this made me think of something in relation to Buddhist practice. When we do these practices, the chanting, the meditation, the sutra study, etc., we have a lot of thoughts in mind, and very rarely do we think that we're not just doing this for ourselves, we're also doing this as a benefit for other people. We are creating a home for them, a place of respite in the same way that a gardener creates a home for toads and other living things. When we do this, we create a safe space for them to live in, even if it's just for a short time, because we're causing ourselves to be that safe space. Suddenly we're a person that's generous, that's kind, that's calm in the face of adversity. So they can take refuge in us in the same way that a toad might take refuge in a garden bed full of soil. Each time we practice the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, the Six Perfections, and the Four Brahma Viharas, it's important to remember we're not just doing this for us. We're doing it for all sentient beings, creating a home for them in the same way that a gardener creates a home for a toad. Amitabha.